chocolate chip cookie chemistry class, we've changed one ingredient in each recipe, and we are actually going to, you all have your kits with your different ingredients. We're going to follow the recipe and actually make a batch of cookies and then bake them and then take a look at how they responded differently to the changes in the recipe. One of you does have the original recipe, so their cookies should turn out perfect. All right, so everybody should have a little bag that says flour and salt. Let's put that in our small bag, or our small bowl. Megan, you're my baker. Why would I mix all my dry ingredients first?
So they're mixed well.
So they're mixed well, right? So like our little 1/3 of a teaspoon of baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch, whatever you had, gets distributed throughout the whole dry mixture, so we don't have clumps of it, so that our cookies are uniform. When you're baking professionally, uniformity and having the right texture and shape and color is really important. So now our next step, according to Amy, is to take our butter, right? Everybody's got softened butter or oil or whatever you have. We're going to put that in the larger bowl, and our vanilla. Chris, how do I know when my butter and sugars are mixed properly together?
Oh, when it's creamy.
All right, once your butter, sugar, and vanilla is mixed, we're going to add our egg or eggs.
I'm not ready yet.
Has everybody got their egg in?
Yes.
Okay, I got a thumbs up.
You
Yes. What happens if we over stir flour? Does anybody know?
Doesn't it form gluten, like it gets too stiff?
Yes, your gluten and your flour will get too stiff, and you won't have soft, moist baked goods. So once you get the first half mixed in, mix in your second half. So does everybody have all of their flour mixed in?
Almost.
Almost. Gwenny, how you doing, kiddo?
We're getting there.
So once you guys are all mixed in with your flour, then it's time to add our chocolate chips. Mix gently. Remember, we don't want to overmix because we will tighten up the gluten.
Okay, that should be good.
All right. So everybody has their recipes complete, yes?
Almost, yep.
Yeah. Almost, yep. So our next step is to actually drop by rounded teaspoonful onto ungreased cookie sheets. So I have 2 small cookie sheets here that I'll be using. My oven's preheated. Did everybody's oven ding that it was up to 375 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is a rounded teaspoonful? How big should it be? Can you guys hold it up when you get it mixed and show me? Use 2 spoons, one with my dough on it, and then another to kind of scrape it off so I don't have to use my fingers. Let's kind of look at Megan's because she used vegetable oil, right?
Right, yeah. It's stiff, kind of. But then once it hits like the baking sheet, it like just kind of spreads out.
Why do you think that is, Megan?
Because it was liquid when it, well, was just like a liquid, and it with the veggie oil. But then the butter is more of a solid.
Chris, what does your dough look like?
When I'm done with this scoop, I will show you. Normal cookie dough.
It's what, Gwen?
This one will cook together.
It's smooth and normal.
Okay. Set my timer for 9 minutes. All right, if you guys can get your trays in the oven and just come back to your screens for me.
I'm going to teach you while
Baking soda, baking powder are leavening agents, right? Does everybody know what a leavening agent is?
No.
Something that makes the baking products rise. So when you put in baking soda and baking powder, you're actually causing a chemical reaction that makes gas. Does anyone know what type of gas you think's growing in your cookies right now?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, yes, perfect. And that's actually going to give the light, airy appearance because those little air bubbles make little air pockets in your baked goods, so it's not one solid mass. Like fudge has no leavening agents, right? So it's one solid mass with no air pockets. Who thinks, just out of curiosity, who thinks they had the original recipe? Megan was shaking her head no. Why don't you think you had the original recipe, Megan?
Well, it used veggie oil, and I've never used veggie oil to make chocolate chip cookies.
We messed up, but we had number one.
Okay, so Gwen, you had the original recipe.
No.
So how did you mess up, Gwenny?
I didn't see the baking soda. And my dad said it might taste bad.
Okay.
We had number 3. We had an alter recipe because we didn't even have baking soda.
What did you have?
We had cornstarch.
And what do you think cornstarch is going to do to your recipe? What's your hypothesis?
It just won't make it rise.
So you're thinking you're gonna have flat cookies?
For the most part.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Cookie pancakes.
All right. I actually had recipe number 2, and I didn't have baking soda. I had baking powder. So we'll do a comparison with Eamon and Gwen's recipes to see how baking soda does against baking powder. Whoops, they're my cookies. Are your cookies going off?
Yes.
No, they ain't.
But
Not yet.
Oh.
What does the recipe say? Cook until golden brown. So this is my, you guys see this? My pan cookies, do they look all right? Kind of golden brown.
yeah.
So commercial bakers like Nestle and you know the Toll House Elves, they actually, once they bake their cookies, they'll flip them over because they want to count the number of chocolate chips that you can see on the bottom. They want approximately 80 to 85% of the bottom of your cookie to have a chip sticking through. Then they know that they put the right amount of chips in when they bake. Okay, can you show that again, Eamon? And kind of talk about how your cookies turned out? Not that much.
They're kind of like a thin mint.
No.
No,
Megan,
I
how did yours turn
forgot
out?
the baking soda, so I don't know if it will taste good. It's normal.
It's really, they rose up like a lot in the oven, like a ton, and then they like deflated, like then they got like really, really flat, and they don't taste very good.
No?
Cool enough? Can you guys flip your bottoms over and just take a look and see how many chocolate chips you have? Do you think it covers 80 to 85% of the bottom of your cookie?
No.
Not even close.
No.
You should
No?
probably-
Oh,
Megan,
what?
why don't you think yours cover 80 to 85% of your cookie bottom?
Like they're spread out. Like they're more.
Yep. It's spread out.
This is my cookies.
Wow. So why don't you think yours rose and did a little bit more?
I think, could it be the cornstarch?
That's
The
so much.
cornstarch didn't have a chemical reaction. And to get baking soda and baking powder to have a chemical reaction, you have to use something a little acidic to get it going. In our case, we use brown sugar.